경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, over here on the left side of the map, in the blue, is a GSL champion. It is NSHoSeo.Jjakji. And at the top of the map, in the red, is our 3-game winner already. Can he make it 4 games and get StarTale that much closer to going to the main event? It is StarTale.Ace.
Yeah, jumping on what you said just then, that's absolutely right, because the winner of this set between NSHoSeo and StarTale does advance into the main event that begins next Monday. So we're only, let's see, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days away. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And we jump into that tournament, so.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to get into that. We've got so many good teams lined up. It's going to be very, very cool. But, you know, for now, I guess we'll just have to wait and watch Jjakji versus Ace. We'll just have to content ourselves with this. Jjakji is a very exciting newer player. He was one of the ones, he's a lot like Leanok, where I saw him play early on, and I'm like, I think this kid is going to actually be really good in like 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
And he is, which is awesome to see. I mean, both him and Leanok, they're so young. They're so good. I can't mention those two without mentioning Creator Prime.
Yes.
For the Protoss race. I mean, watch that kid. He's going to be like Jjakji and Leanok. Just wait. But Jjakji right now just so solid. His multitasking is insane.
Yep.
I could go on and on about this guy.
So Ace really has his work cut out for him now. We have kind of a cool match. You know, as you mentioned before, when Ace was first thrown in, not a guy who's had a lot of individual league success, but a guy who has had a ton of team league success. And but he's going up against Jjakji, who's actually going to CC first inside of his main. It looks like we're going to have Nexus first for Ace back at home.
It is Terminus. So that's not terribly surprising.
Right.
Pretty cool. 17 Nexus going down for Jjakji.
I'm sure Jjakji's going to be happy once he knows the position of the two players, though, because, of course, his main is so close to that third base, it's going to be very easy for him to take advantage of some nice drop play.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he decides to do. I mean, he's a player that has a lot of different openings for a lot of different matchups, so, you know, it's hard to really tell what to expect. And there you go, 2 barracks right away. So on occasion, we have seen him do that 5 barracks play where you do that kind of bigger marine push off the 5 barracks and then expand behind it, too. He might not add that many barracks on there, but I'm sure we're going to see at least 1 more.
Yeah, Probe tries to get in there and do a little damage.
This time,
driven off for the moment. No denying structures for you. Nope. All right, let's see how many barracks that Jjakji follows this up with. Of course, once he gets both of his orbital commands at basically the same time.
Oh, look out, SCV. There's a jerk probe chasing you.
He's going to run away, and he is going to do some scouting here in a bit. Other than the Nexus first, nothing too out of the ordinary for Ace, deciding to throw down second gas at about the time you would when you decide to tech or throw in some upgrades off of a Nexus first.
So, yeah, I mean, so we you know, while we're waiting for these guys to get started, one thing we can talk about is what is commonly seen on things like maps like this. You know, we really see a huge variety in this matchup right now. I think Colossus pushes tend to be quite strong because the running lanes are a little bit narrower depending on the engagement. The positioning is good for something like that for Ace. We could also see Warp Prism Harassment. He's shown that he likes to do that. It's a good map for it. He can drop right in the main. On Jjakji's side of things, bio play is always going to be good. But, you know, we've also seen a good amount of non-bio play as well. Look at that. A little bit of a bunker pressure there just to get some probes to pull. He actually wants to go through with this, actually. Oh, okay.
That was a nice job, actually, too. You see, if he runs back home, that was actually kind of a clever little maneuver as well, because he built the bunker and focused Ace's attention on that bunker because he knew that there was a probe there. He was within sight range of the probe at the Xel'Naga Tower, so the probe at the Xel'Naga Tower wouldn't run away, and he got a free kill. So
nice.
Kind of a
not bad at all.
Cute little maneuver there. Robotics facility coming up for Ace, and we see it's kind of built in the back of the natural, which is actually as close as possible without overextending it and throwing it right into the third.
Or something like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. You know, I'm sure Jjakji would have been happy to get that bunker up, too. We've seen a lot of Terran players start to do bunker rushes against Protoss in this matchup as well, especially against things like CC first. Obviously, it didn't hit quick enough to really do anything this time, but that's going to be something that's going to become a lot more common in the future of this matchup, too.
And let's see here, as we have gateways number 2 and 3 being added. Already a third gas thrown down for Ace, so could move into Colossi pretty quickly, or just a quick sentry drop here to try and do some damage while he techs behind that. And the add-on does come up for Jjakji. Actually constructs his engineering base slightly after that, so that's a little more predictable, a little more normal now. And those Marines are just working at the destructible debris, so we have a little bit of a lull in the action while we kind of wait for strategies to develop.
Well, he wants to take a third. Oh, an Immortal queued up after that Observer, so we might see a Robotics Bay go down pretty soon here, and Ace go for some sort of Colossus timing. Normally that's what you do, is kind of make one Immortal or two just while you get your Colossus upgrades going here. He might decide to put on a little bit of gateway pressure too, but obviously Jakji is really well prepared for that. Now, you know, I'm curious what Jakji is going to do. If he's going to go into something with Medivacs, or if he's going to go into like Ghost play, because Ghost could be pretty good on this map, just because there's no ramp or anything like that to get into the natural, and it's fairly narrow too. So. Okay, looks like he's going to go the Medivac route, though, putting down that factory.
All right, so just 3 racks now, but he already has quite a few bio units out there. Our Protoss opponent, on the other hand, let's see, he is getting that. Is that going to be his first Immortal? Yeah, looks like that is. And throwing down gateways number 4 and 5 afterwards. I'm sorry, 4, 5, and 6. So 6-gate Robo off of 2 bases. Pretty standard stuff. And back for Jakji. He's going to time this nicely with +1 coming up at the same time.
Yep, going to be taking a third rather than do any sort of 2-base push here, going up to 7 gates actually.
Yeah, okay, let's see here. What is he going to pop up? He has 7 sentries already, so he's expended all of his gas there. What's going to follow this up? Are we just going to have a super strong sentry zealot Immortal push? Or
I've got a feeling you're right. I think he's going to try to break that bunker line of Jakji and get in there and do some damage. He's continuing to produce Immortals with a lot of gateway units. Yeah, there's only one reason you would really do that, and that's to try to break that. So he's going to give it a try. You know, we'll see how well it works. Jakji is fairly well defended, but with that many sentries, you know, with good force field placement, he can take those bunkers out really quickly with the Immortals.
Right. He can spam down a bunch of force fields, throw up 2 Guardian Shields, and just allow the Immortals to tank so much damage. And here it comes. This is actually going to time with a third push, or a third Immortal, I should say. Jakji investing heavily into infrastructure, as there's a command center and a starport coming up, and he's only been producing off of those 3 racks basically this entire time. Yeah,
you know, the only problem for Ace here is that if this push fails, Jakji is going to be in a really good position to start dropping, harassing a lot, taking his third, getting upgrades. Jakji is going to have so much breathing room if this doesn't work that Ace really needs to be careful about that. Oh, and the SCV sees it. Jakji is going to be able to pull some SCVs right away. Yeah, there they go. And so he is in the best possible position right now to defend this.
Yes.
See if he can. It's still going to be a strong push.
And Ace was actually way supply blocked. I don't know if you saw that, but he's actually accumulated a ton of resources right now. But he's got to go soon, otherwise he misses his moment, and the production from Jakji is just going to kill him. There go down the force fields.
Nice
Does trap out a lot of the SCVs. Yeah, you're exactly right.
The Immortals aren't firing, though. They're in the back. He's not far enough up with those Stalkers.
There they go.
Yeah, he needs to get those Immortals in there. That wasn't very good. Takes out a bunker almost instantaneously, but there's a lot of DPS coming in from Jakji.
Oh, that was a disaster for Ace. He just lost all of his sentries, so he has nothing to protect those Immortals anymore. How many workers went down? Not enough. And the rest of the bio units come out. They tear through a good number of Ace's forces, and really, Jakji just needs to sit back. He can actually sack some SCVs to go ahead and pull this off. He knows how many units his opponent has out there, and Ace, this is not looking good.
Yeah, he's got a really good spread on his SCVs and bio there. So, I mean, picking off the Immortals, some Zealots getting warped in, but I think Jakji is going to be just fine. He's not even really losing a whole lot of SCVs for this, too. In fact, I think we're going to see him pull those SCVs back in just a minute here. He doesn't really need them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. He's just fine. He's actually still, even though he lost 22 workers, he's still ahead overall. And the last couple of Zealots are actually going down. Ace's attack has now failed. He's trying to reproduce as many units back at home as he possibly can, but Jakji already going up to +2 weapons. There it goes. Ace knows it, and he just leaves.
Yeah, Ace, you know, it's kind of like I said going into that. If he didn't make it work, he was going to be really far behind. And he just decided that game that he was just too far behind to have a chance to win, I guess.